Welcome to Ukulele Corner. Let's take a look at the House of the Rising Sun, an arrangement for a ukulele with low G, G, C, E, A. And this particular arrangement has accompaniment and melody together, and we're going to use a right hand arpeggio technique and lots of different chords with the left hand. It's going to be good practice for doing bar chords across 3 strings with index finger in various places. So I want to break down the chords in the song and some of the positions we're going to use, and then some of the right hand patterns that are used. Those are the 2 main things we can focus on in the lesson here. So let's start out by looking at the left hand block shapes of the chords. Before we even try to do the arpeggios, and that's playing with the right hand and finger picking the notes, let's just try to find some of the shapes. So we're going to play this progression that cycles around. It's D minor, F, G, B flat, D minor, A7, D minor. That's a common part of the song that cycles around. So let's look at some different positions that we'll play in. We'll kind of follow the order that they happen in the song. So there are many different ways that we can play all these chords, and we're going to really dive in and cover a lot of the fingerboard in this arrangement. So that's what makes it challenging. We're going to start with a D minor chord by laying the first finger down across 3 strings at the 5th fret, and then we're going to use our ring finger to play, 3rd finger to play the low string 7th fret. That's a D minor chord. We're going to use many times in the song. It's one of the most common ones. And then the second most common is going to be this open position, D minor 2-2-1-0, which we've played a lot. So this position is going to move up the 7th 5-5 position, 5th position, moves up 3 frets, and then it's going to become a major chord, 10-9-8-8. And what I do is I go from 3 notes bar to just 2. So practice this with your index finger. Just cover 3 strings and then move to 2. That's going to happen between the first 2 chords. Then you're going to move. To get from an F to a G, we go from 10-9-8-8, 12-11-10-10. We just move the same shape up 2 frets. That's as high as we have to go. I know that's getting up there pretty high. Then we're going to get a B flat chord, 7, 5, 6, 8. This doesn't necessarily have to be a bar chord. You could lay your first finger down, but just to save the energy, because we're doing a lot of other bar chords, don't lay your finger flat, the index finger, and you're going to go 3rd finger first, 2nd pinky on fret 7, 5, 6, and 8. Then we're going to go back to our D minor chord. And A7 we're going to play a lot, or A chord. You back up 1 fret, 6, 4, 5, 4. Barring the same 3 strings just down at the 4th fret, exactly the same shape as D minor, except for adding the 2nd finger in between. There's a fret in between these 2 fingers, so we're putting the 2nd finger right there on the 2nd string. 6, 4, 5, 4. Then back to our D minor. Another way we're going to play A or A7, 2-1-0-0, the open position way, which is a very common way to play it. But we're often going to add the 3rd fret of the 2nd string to make it an A7, and I use my pinky there. That's going to allow the 3rd finger to play some melody notes. So use your pinky. So as a review, the first sequence of chords, we have that D minor, 5th position, G, 8th position, just barring 2 notes, up 2 frets. Oh, that's F, then the G is at the 10th position. B flat, back at 5th position. D minor, back up 1 fret. The A chord, back up to the D minor. And then this A7, using the pinky. As the song progresses, then, when the melody comes in at measure 5, D minor is going to go to F in 1st position. And all you have to do there is move your 3rd finger off the string. Then we're going to switch around and get to G chord, 4-2-3-2. What's great is you'll see shapes used again and again. This is the same shape we just used for an A chord, but now we're down at 2 frets at the 2nd fret. We got a G chord. Another common shape that we used up really high earlier for the F and G is a B flat, 3-2-1-1. Then we're going to go back to our D minor. Then an F chord, this is a big jump. You have to jump off from this 5th position right down to an F chord with your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the high string, 2, 0, 1, 3. That's then going to release to the open string, and then we're going to go to A. Then we're going to release the low string and put down the pinky back on that A7. So when the first theme happens, once again with D minor, goes to F, 2nd position G, 1st position B flat, 5th position D minor, which we played, that F with the pinky down, then off, then the A becomes A7 by releasing the 2nd finger, putting the pinky down. It carries on with similar chords, D minor, F just like before, G, B flat, exactly the same. Now we stay low, D minor, A, and D minor. So that's no problem doing the 2nd half of the theme. Then there's another vamp through the chord cycle at measure 12. D minor, low position, F, low position, G, 2nd fret, B flat, just like before. D minor, A. D minor now is going to switch from low to high, and then the A at the 4th position at the end of measure 15. Then now we've pretty much covered most of every chord that's going to be used. They're just repetitions. So the next time the melody comes back, D minor at 5th, the F chord with the pinky down, G at the 2nd position, B flat, 1st position, back to D minor at the 5th, F with the pinky down, that A, then A7, this time without the pinky down, just 0, 1, 0, 0. Then we sneak in for just a moment and play at the end of bar 19, the 4th fret bar for an A, then back up to D minor, 5th position, F chord with the pinky down, G, 2nd position, B flat, all the same, D minor, A, all in open position, back to the high D minor. Now here's something new. Another way of playing F, 5, 5, 5, 8. That's the 2nd half of measure 23. That's going to move up 2 frets to G. In this case, we are covering all 4 strings with the bar. 5, 5, 5, 8, 7, 7, 7, 10. Back to the B minor chord we did at the very beginning. 7, 5, or B flat, 7, 5, 6, 8. Then we do our D minor, 5th position, A at the 4th position, and back to D minor. So that sort of practice, we blocked out the chords all the way through, and we didn't even worry about what the right hand is doing yet. You just get comfortable playing those chord shapes. You'll learn a ton in the song because of all that motion. We're jumping all over the place. So let that digest for a minute, and I'll be right back, and we'll start looking at the right hand. And I'll see you then.